Oh, that's got to be on that mic. Hey, everybody. Comedian Bert Kreischer here. And my new show, The Cabin with Bert Kreischer, is premiering on Netflix. And I thought a great way to kick off the premiere is to sit with my bestie, Tom Segura, and take an old trip down memory lane about our episode, which he was very nervous about when we were shooting. Yeah. Because of how you pitched it. You're like, I'm just going to be in the woods. Will you come see me? Like, what? That was it. So we're going to look at some clips and we'll talk about the show. You're going to fucking love this. What is that? This is our dinner. That's dinner. That's dinner. Yeah. It's about body. Lean, protein, clean body. Ah, fucking shit. Fuck you. Holy shit. The emu.
I didn't know it was going to be that real.
I don't think I've seen a dead animal up close immediately after it died. And also it was stuffed into a cooler. It wasn't like the right size. It was like finding a body in a trunk. Exactly what it was like, but it was like finding a 400-pound man's body in the trunk of a beetle. The animal was enormous, and it was just like stuffed in, like they just killed it, and they're like, no one can know. They just stuffed it in there. Yeah, it was startling to see. Man, look at the feet. You just throw the feet. Oh, I missed those. Yeah, that. It stood out first. The fucking pterodactyl claw sticking out of the cooler. I knew we were getting an emu. I didn't know we were getting an emu. Yeah. It's like when you go, hey, I want to get married and have kids, but you don't really know what that means, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm not leaving the house now for 6 years. I'm going to be raising children. I'll be paying for this for the next 30. Exactly. Oh, God. I'm having sex with the same woman for the rest of my life. That's not what you know is going to happen. I remember you saying, like, I don't think I can do this. Yeah. Oh, I know. I thought I would definitely be able to do this. And it's amazing how quickly you jumped in and did it. Yeah. Yeah. And then we had our butcher friend Tiny or Sweets or something. Sweets. Yeah, Sweets, who was like, you did a really good job with this, fucked it up. Yeah, did we? Yeah, it was cool to butcher something with a chainsaw, so I'm an emotional wreck. Okay, let's tune you up. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just swipe over your auric field and cut any energetic cords. How hot was the Crystal Cleanse? Crystal Cleanser was an Oak show, and she just sat with 3 degenerates who were drunk and smoking weed all fucking day. He has a lot of repressed sexual desires,
Oh my gosh, I'm married.
He's repressed. Like all of us were married. We want to tie our wives up and spit on their feet, drag them through the house. But now they're married, so you can't do those sexual things no more. He would make me laugh so hard on his commentary. He's like, you don't understand. We're married. We just want to like tie somebody up. Come on, the forehead and like saying crazy shit. And I could see in her face, she kept being like, okay. But like she had no idea. That was the hardest I've ever laughed. Yeah, that was the hardest. I was crying. Do you remember? I was watching her too. And she was handling it so well. And we were like, are we going to even be in this episode, or is this going to be Joey monologuing? So what I thought it was, because his monologues were the funniest. And you can't tell if he's being serious or if he's joking. I was raised by a single mom. My mom would play cards with these women on Tuesday nights, and they would talk about their husbands falling asleep, eating their pussies and shit. And I'd be like 5 playing with like G.I. Joe going, who falls asleep eating a pussy? I didn't even know what a pussy was. You know what he told me? He does what he's got, I guess, like a fungus toenail. And he'll shave the fungus and smoke it to see if he can make him. Hi, it's a great pivot. Fucking Jesus, Estoba. Miss Clark, Suave, Mediano, El Fuerte. I thought what we'd do is we'd roll 3 regular cigars and then 1 mega joint. Perfect. Ask him if we can roll them now, but can we smoke them now? All right. Hold on. Hey, can we roll them now, but then smoke them now? Wait, do you speak English? You speak English? No, I'm not coming. You assholes are out here like, I'm a fucking settler showing up going, hey, I want to teach you guys Christianity. Are you Cuban? Are you Cuban? Are you Cuban? I'm Cuban. Oh, he's Pakistani? Yeah, he's fucking Cuban. It was an ounce and marijuana. He looked at it and he was like, I don't normally roll this, but like, how will this do? And then he rolled a perfect blunt, perfect. It was enormous. It was like, I remember being so high, I thought the trees were talking to me going, don't do anything. People at home live and learn. This is what you should be doing. Not opiates and that other garbage and putting into your body. Oh, my back hurts. Go yourself. Smoke one of these. Your back won't hurt no more. Holy shit. Look at that. He said, this guy's good. That's nice. That's a half fucking ounce, Jack. We're going to see the devil. That was a really fun fucking day. That day was awesome. I didn't expect to have that kind of fun. Really. No. I mean, you guys were figuring out the show. Like literally they were like, we're figuring this out today. Like, I don't really know what we're doing. It's similar to you. Yeah. So for that to be the sentiment to start the day and you fast forward to the end of the day when like we had done all these crazy things and it's Crystal and the emu and smoking cigars and smoking the mega blunt and just laughing all day. It was a great day, man. Would you do it again? Yeah, I would do it again. Heartbeat. That's all. That's all we need to know, as we just needed a commitment for season 2. Okay, season 2, green. All right, watch this season of The Cabin streaming right now on Netflix, Sam. Body only a woman would settle for gay man would be like, no, thanks, let's go to the gym. But a woman's like, well, he probably won't cheat on me. Yeah, fat, I'm fat. I'm so fat. I fall in the shower. And has anyone in here ever fallen in the shower? A fat person. You're not even fat. What are you doing? I was just trying to wash my foot. Not like doing a trick or anything. Just, and you, let me tell you something. Soon to be fat people. You don't ever want to fall with your girlfriend or your wife.
Yeah?
They get mad at you like you did it on purpose. You're being a gentleman. Right in the corner out of the water, in the cold part, on that little slopey part. She's in the water like Brooke Shields. You're trying to put in work. Get that foot washed, right? Oh, here we go. All of a sudden you go. And there's a split second where that voice in your head goes, don't worry, I got this covered. And you're like, really? Yeah. Grab the curtain. You're like, what? He's like, grab the curtain. Okay, hit the ground. Take her out like you're snow skiing. Shampoo bottle goes up your ass. Now, here's the interesting thing. She gets mad at you like you did it on purpose. What are you doing? Which you can't answer because you knocked the wind out of yourself. I can't understand you. What are you doing? Why would you fall? What do you think we're playing a game? Yeah, his slippery dippery duck. You're it. I fell because I'm fat. Why are you fat? Because I'm married to you. And I don't care what I look like anymore, right? He is. I'll tell you exactly how stupid she is. If you spend too much time with her, you start getting stupid.
Does that make sense?
We took a family trip this summer. First morning, we all sit down for breakfast. Isla shows up 5 minutes late, sits at the table, looks at me and goes, hey, big boy, what did you think about those dreams last night, huh? And we're all looking at each other going, she thinks we have the same dreams. She's 12. For 12 years, she thought we all got the same dreams programmed every night, that everyone got the same sex. Like it's must-see TV. But then I'm sitting across from her going, I had 2 dreams about this kid last night. What if she cracked the code? I lean across the table. I go, hey, did you have a dream that I was locked in a trunk? My wife goes, what the fuck are you doing? We don't have the same dreams. A slaw kicks me under the table. And she goes, I'll talk to you after breakfast. That afternoon, we're going snorkeling, right? We're out on the boat, and I'm watching Isla look off the side of the boat at the horizon. It looks beautiful. Great moment as a parent to say, hey, baby girl, what are you thinking about? Your kid turns around, dream scenario. Hey, dad, thanks. I go, hey, baby girl, what are you thinking about? She turns around and goes, we should get tattoos. I go, we're not getting tattoos. She goes, no, dad, if we all got the same one, we'd never regret it. I go, you're 12, Ezra. What tattoo would you want? She goes, what's it called when you cover your arm? I go, you want a fucking sleeve? You want to sleep? You want to be the only 8th grader walking into homeroom like it's a jiu-jitsu tournament? What do you want sleeved on your arm? Ezra. He goes, a wolf? Yeah, Dad, his head would start up here. His body would come by my elbow, and his tail would come out to my fingertip. That way you'd know if I was happy because I'd be wagging my finger. She's turned my daughters into bullies.
Yeah.
We were watching a documentary the other night, documentary on Gandhi. All I said was, I don't get the whole hunger strike thing. My daughter Georgia looks me up and down and goes, no, they don't call me Dad. They have nicknames for me, like Chunk or Fetus. They call me Fetus. They had a nickname. They were calling me behind my back for 2 years. We're at dinner one night. Leanne sends a text. Both the girls giggle. Oh, good one, Mom. I said, what is it? They said, you wouldn't get it. I said, I'm the funniest motherfucker at this table. My comedy's paying for this dinner. And those teeth running by me. I was like, I don't think you'd find it funny. So I go to the bathroom and I come back quick. I look over Slow's shoulder. She's slow. What I see is a series of pictures of me. And the chat thread is titled Baby Walrus. My stomach drops. I sit down at the table. I go, what the fuck is Baby Walrus? They freeze. They're like, oh, it's not what's Baby Walrus? Walrus. It's who's Baby Walrus? And I said, who the fuck is Baby Walrus? He's like, I think you know who Baby Walrus is. Georgie goes, calm down, Dad. It's just mom thinks when you put on fancy clothes, you look like a baby walrus who's trying to escape from the zoo. I looked at Leanna. She goes, and calm down. You actually behave like a baby walrus. I said, no, I don't. And then the waitress came over and she goes, double Tito's and soda, big glass, no lime. I didn't even think I did it. I went. Paula pulls out her phone. Baby Walrus loves vodka. Click, click. No, everything has just become fucking absolutes in the States. It's fucking nuts. Like that Colin Kaepernick guy, right? You knew when he was like protesting during the national anthem, no one was going to listen to what the fuck he had to say, no matter how much he explained it. He goes, I'm taking a knee during the national anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. You got about halfway through that, people like, my brother's fighting in Iraq. You folk piece of shit. It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He wants 911 on television. No. Nobody's saying that. Your brother's not a firefighter. I got a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song, buddy. Nobody is saying you can't see a fucking podiatrist. All right? You're not listening. That's what it became. You ever try to get abs? You ever try to get all the abs and get that shit down here? You ever try to do it? It's fucking impossible. Past the age of 19, can't do it without tons of help. You got to buy all these exercise tapes. You got to read about nutrition. You got to get a personal trainer having you fucking running along. You need like your own chef. And he's like, okay, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. All right, now eat it. Start consuming it. All right, stop, slow down, stop, dead it out, spit it out. I told you to stop. Get on the electrical now. You like that Brussels sprout? Don't you like that Brussels sprout? Because now you're paying for it. It's a fucking miserable experience just walking around. Your whole body's eating yourself. You want some cake? No, I'll just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side. No croutons. Oh my God. When is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get that? No, you don't have to. It's effortless. You can fucking lay on your back watching your favorite show, just shoveling shit down your throat.
What are you doing?
I'm getting fat. You got a trainer? Don't need one. It's natural. So I just eat everything that makes my sugar salt go like, yeah, woo, yeah, it comes right in. Nice roll of fucking flab. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely, call me when you get there, none of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think was like once when I was little. And then when I moved out, that was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. Like we almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug and it's just it's so awful. I have to like shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, anybody else like that? You ever have to like shout stuff out of your head? Like there's something about me, like all I regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think and I'll just think of shit I did in like 3rd grade where I just made an ass of myself. But I just will be in the shower just being like, and my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? I'll just be like, yeah, I just accidentally turned on the hot water. Turned it on too much every day, so yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day. So I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was, protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys, and if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises, yeah? So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, who's going to make us gay? And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta. You know, comedy, can it go too far? Last night as a Sabry's apple sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto eating blogger. So yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know, I don't have any kids. So yeah, but as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood? Okay, you want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad. As fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood, that he never talks about the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war, you know? So I figured if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change a shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out the ring, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So he took it from that and knocked it down to don't hug him. Don't hug him. It's going to make him gay, right? And then maybe someday I ever have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class. All right? He's in taking drama class. Because I said so, lady. Let me handle it. I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either. That I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class. Okay? It isn't, I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class. Okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools, go to the cafeteria, everybody's like cottage cheese. What is it made of? Right? Like then he can do all he wants and he can do all the fuck I wants it. I'll tell you on a grand scale who's helping nobody lose weight. Starbucks. This is true. They have a national training campaign to try to trick you into ordering food. And this is why they know you're going to order a beverage. So they try to lead you into food, pull into any Starbucks drive-thru, and now they greet you. They say, welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started for you to eat today? And you're like, wait, what? I just wanted coffee. And they're like, no shit. What else do you want? So then you're like, I don't know, sausage. Like, what do you have? I don't respect that. I like he's shamed, straight up and honest. And nobody does that better than the West Coast burger chain In-N-Out. And if you've never been In-N-Out, get your fucking life together and go. And I want you to just simply so you can experience the most shameful and honest question in all of fast food. Because you pull up and go, have a double fries and a Coke. And they go, will you be eating in the car? Yeah, I think so. They go, I bet you will, you fat fucking pile of garbage. I was in London, Canada. They have one. And doesn't that kind of bother you a little bit? Like when a barely city is like, let's just name it after an awesome city. And they have the nerve to ask you, like, how do you like London, the real one, or this turd you put in a dress? Because like the fucking balls on Paris, Tennessee to name their city Paris. And then they built a mini Eiffel Tower. Like you're going to walk around confused, like, well, bonjour. I don't even know where I'm at. Can I get me a croissant? Fuck Paris, Tennessee. I can remember the first time we ever talked about weed because it was Christmas Day. That's why it stood out. I was 11 years old. My sister brought it up. She was like, I want to smoke weed. And my dad goes, you want to know what I think of marijuana? And I was genuinely curious. I go, what, Dad? He goes, I was at a party one time and somebody pulled out a marijuana cigarette. And I said, I'm out of here. And I was like, cool story, nerd. You got any other ones? And he goes, well, yeah, one time I was in Vietnam and some Viet Cong tried to sell my Marines marijuana. So I found him and I picked him up by his throat and I threw him on the ground and I put my M16 in his face. And I said, if you ever come here again, I'll fucking kill you. And I go, do you have any stories in between those two stories? Jesus, it's Christmas, bro. Goddamn. I'm not making fun of you if you're religious.
Any.
I think that's great. Any faith, Christian, Muslim, Jew. What if you're a Scientologist? You can go fuck yourself. But yeah, because it's not old. It's got to be old. I think it's fair to say there's sometimes I don't want to hear about it, you know? You know, like working out, getting high. That's a bummer, right? Like when there's pills and cash and tits out and someone's like, have you thought about accepting the Lord into your life? And you're like, I'm mine to make bad decisions. Why are you doing this to me? That in pre-sex, that is the worst. During sex, salam alaikum, anything goes. But pre-sex, like right before, and the girl's like, what if God's watching us? And you're like, what? What if God is watching us? Of course he's watching us. He sees everything. And this is hands down his favorite. Yeah, I bought weed from a dude in a standalone trailer one time. Not a trailer park, a solo trailer. The most terrifying housing situation that exists. Like where other trailer people are like, get out of here, they kick him out. I just walk up to that 15. This dude's like, you trying to get a sack? I was like, oh yeah. So he goes, we could go do that. I was like, all right, cool. He goes, we just need to go get it. I was like, you don't fucking have it. Isn't that your sole responsibility? So I tried to play cool. I was like, all right, let's go get it. He goes, I'll go get it. You stay here and watch my place. And I was like, okay. And he goes, there's a 37 and a shotgun on my bed. Anybody comes in here, blast them inside. Paralysis. But what I said was that's what's up. Like, yeah, man, being married, so nice. I never knew relationships were supposed to make you feel better about yourself. That's not really a joke. That's just a little sweet thing I like to say because I've been in relationships where I got cheated on, like long ones. I don't know if you've ever been in a long relationship where you got cheated on, but it changes your whole worldview. Because like when I was a kid, I used to watch America's Most Wanted. You know what kids do? And I would always think to myself, how could another person kill someone? How could a human being kill another human being? And then I got cheated on and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do it, but I totally get it. And I don't mean in that way of like, no one else can have you. Like, I don't care about that. It's just creepy to have an ex out there after things have ended badly. They have a lot of information. Anyone who's seen my dick and met my parents needs to die. I can't have them roaming around. Strange, the passage of time. I'm not that old. I'm 35. That is not old. But I am in a new phase right before old called gross. I never knew about this, but I am now gross. I am damp all the time. I am damp now and I will be damp later. Like the back of a dolphin. My back, I am slick. The butt part of my pants is a little damp a lot. And I don't think it's anything serious, but isn't it though? And I'll be sitting at a restaurant and I'll get up and I'll be like, what did I sit in? And it was me. I'm gross now. I've been talking through burps. I never used to do this when I was a kid and I wanted to burp. I'd be like, silence, blah. Now I'm trying to like push them down and muscle through them. I'll be at dinner just doing the bread and the seltzer, filling up like a hot air balloon. And then I'm like, did you say that you were going to Italy? Because we have a travel agent. She has a travel agent. I'm going to the kitchen. Does anyone need anything does anyone need to just take a pause? John, I'm gross. I have hair on my shoulders now. I don't even have a joke for that. That's how much I hate that shit. I was sitting up in bed a few weeks ago, like, life, and my wife was rubbing my shoulders, which was very nice of her. But then she started singing to herself, monkey, monkey, monkey man. Monkey, monkey, monkey man. Not me. Not to be mean. This was a song from deep in her subconscious. I don't even think she was aware she was singing it, but it was certainly not the first time she had sung it. I don't know what my body is for other than just taking my head from room to room. And it's not getting any better. I'm 35, but I'm still like, hey, when am I going to get big and strong? Or this is it. This is it. It's just going to be this. I'm like an iPhone. It's going to be worse versions of this every year. Plus, I get super hot in the middle of the afternoon for no reason. As I get older, it's tough to not get grumpy. It's tempting. I get grumpy about some things. Like, I can't listen to any new songs because every new song is about how tonight is the night and how we only have tonight. That is such 19-year-old horseshit. I want to write songs for people in their 30s called Tonight's No Good. How about Wednesday? Oh, you're in Dallas on Wednesday. Oh, okay. Well, then let's just not know each other for 8, and it doesn't matter at all. The weirdest thing when I was like a kid was how much they scared us about smoking weed. They scared us about it constantly. And I've been on tour this year. Marijuana is legal in like 18 or 19 states in some form or another. It's insane. Yeah, well, all right, don't woo if you're white. It's always been legal for us. Come on, sir. We don't go to jail for marijuana, you silly Billy. When I was arrested with a one-hitter at a Rusted Root concert, I did not serve hard time. I think I got an award, 18 or 19 states. And by the way, I agree, it's a very good thing, but it's also a really weird thing because this is the first time I've ever seen a law change because the government is just like, fine. I've never seen it before, like gay marriage and healthcare. We have to battle it out in the Supreme Court and be like, gay people are humans. And they're like, we'll think about it. But with weed, it was just something we wanted really badly. And we kept asking them for 40 years, like, excuse me. And then suddenly the government became like cool parents. And they're just like, okay, here, take a little. We'd rather you do it in the house than go somewhere else. And blah, 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 blah. Everything is too fast now and totally unreasonable. The world is run by computers. The world's run by robots. And we spend most of our day telling them that we're not a robot just to log on and look at our own stuff all day long. May I see my stuff, please? I smell a robot. To prove to me you're not a robot. Look at these curvy letters. Much curvier than most letters, wouldn't you say? No robot could ever read these. You look mortal if you be. You look mortal if you be. You look and then you type what you think you see. Is it an E or is it a 3? That's up to you. The passwords have passed. You've correctly guessed. But now it's time for the robot test. I've devised a question no robot could ever answer. Like, which of these pictures does not have a stop sign in it? Fucking what? You spend most of your day telling a robot that you're not a robot. Think about that for 2 minutes and tell me you don't want to walk into the ocean. And Bernard, why do they know him as Bernie? Bernard is running for president. Bernard is running the president of what? The Band-Aid on Forehead Society? No. He's running for president of the United States. Bernard? Yeah, our Bernard. Why don't you just vote for him? Oh, hello, no. We knew that. We go back with Bernard. We go back with Bernie Sanders to our days in Vermont. You know, we were known as a political action group. We were known as the Burlington 3-0. And we were responsible for the bombing of the original Burlington Coat Factory. But now it's still, you know, I still deal with him because I'm very involved in the Occupy Walgreens movement. Okay. Yes, I hate the 1%. I love whole milk. Oh boy. I'm sick of these right wingers though. Let me say something that no one else is saying. Please do. I'm sick of these right wingers. And the only one I would vote for is Dick Cruz. I like him because his face looks like the whole movie. Dick Tracy pushed together. You were out there. You were so funny at the White. Thank you guys. That's very kind. You were being humorous. And what I love the joke where you attacked Vin Trump, right? And then I remember, you know, you made fun of him. And then you got a Tim, you know, and then he waited 6 years. Yeah. And now he's running for president. And he is just a McDonald's burp away from destroying the fair. So that was you, dude. That was you, man. Thank you. Yeah, you're like the guy that didn't buy Hitler's painting. So he was like, okay, I'll try plan B, Dad. That was so exciting. I was watching the Emmys and you won the Emmy for this wonderful special that I was lucky enough to see at Radio City. How was that night? I was totally surprised. It was amazing and extremely flattering, but I was just shocked to win. I've, you know, been before and sometimes it's not fun. So I was sitting there like, why do we do this every year? Why do we come to this? And then they said my name and I was like, oh, this is true love. I was very happy because it cut to you, and Dan Levy, who is a dear friend of yours, was your day for the night. World's funniest comedian Dan Levy was my day for the next, and I'm lucky enough to know him as well. And it was really a genuine moment of friendship from Dan when you won. And there he is next to you. Oh, yes. There's also our friend Michelle Wolf, who's genuinely happy for you. Look at Dan and I. That is like the typical, like, Catholic and Jew hearing good news. And like, wow. And I'm like, okay, don't get too proud. I think if you get kicked in the face, you deserved it, because that means that you watched the foot come to your face. Got to be an asshole to find somebody using their feet. The person I saw get kicked in the face, the reason why I laughed is because when he got kicked, he looked at us for confirmation. Like he needed approval on what just happened. He's like, yo, shit, yo, it's him. Yeah, better look at his other foot. And then he kicked you again. He's good. The guy's good. He knows what he's doing. Would you fight somebody using their feet, man? Like if we go to fight, I'm going to tell you, put your hands up, let's fight. Now, if I go to fight you and you start stretching, I mean, you know, some shit, I don't know. I'm not going to fight you. I had an incident where a guy he didn't use it on me, but he was going to attempt to use his feet. I was with my mom, right? Me and my mom, we in the parking lot of Best Buy. I'm looking for a parking space. Now, all the spaces was ticket, but there's one truck about to back into his parking spot, but he was taking too long. So I got mad. I stole it. I whipped him to the spot real fast. Like, you know when you're wrong, because you put your head down and roll your windows up. You don't want to look at him. You start humming. And
Yeah.
out of nowhere, the guy got out the truck. He was like, yo, man, I know you saw me about to back into that spot. If you back out, are we going to have a problem? Chinese guy right now with my mom. So I ain't gonna be no bitch. I was like, well, I guess we got a problem. This is how I know I didn't want this problem. This is exactly what he did to me. He's like, oh, so we got a problem? Mm-hmm. Do we? Al got mad at me because I live in law. He said, Kevin, you out here in Hollywood? Open God knows what. Sex, drugs, money. Lord knows what you're into. You need to get a relationship with God. I said, dude, don't talk to me about God. I'm fine. Okay? You're the one who's on drugs. You get a relationship with God. He got mad. Now, anytime you get mad, he already got to bring up some dark shit from his past that nobody needs to know. I don't know where. He said, Kevin, let me tell you something. I knew I was on drugs, but I found Jesus. Granted, I didn't know him when I was out there sucking dick for money, but I'll tell you something. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not going to speed past that. Like, you didn't just say what you just said. I said, Dad, when was this? What year was this? He said it was in the 80s. Like, everybody was doing it. This is shit that pissed me off. He said, your dad was back there with me. I said, what? My dad was like, all right. Hey, you gonna learn today? No, the fuck I'm not. You gonna keep that lesson to yourself. How come nothing good ever happens at work? It's always bad, babe. Let me tell you about this. Bitch Sabrina at the office today, okay? First of all, she comes in the office with stockings on and black shoes. Excuse me, bitch. Labor Day is over. Excuse me. Thank you. Backspace. Delete that. Then y'all start talking about problems going on in the office. We don't fucking know. Let me tell you what she did, babe. She come to me talking about, can you go print this out, the fax machine? No. I am an executive administrative assistant, not your estate. We gotta act like we know what's going on. What? She told you to print it out the fax machine. No, she didn't. That bitch is crazy. Not my baby. Thank you. Then y'all turn into the computers. Thank you. I told the bitch, boop, backspace. No, OLRTOFMAO. Thank you. Delete that. MTFOMOFOHS. I don't know where my friend Joey goes. You better be lucky. I'm on a ping pong table. If we did, I would bust all your ass. I said, bet money, bitch. That's me and my friend's biggest problem. We're competitive. The word bet sets off that competitive nature. I said, bet money, bitch. Harry said, bet. Wayne bet. Spank bet. Joey bet. Bitch bet, motherfucker. Bet, nigga. Bet, Our game looks nothing like the game that we were watching on TV. So we decided to add alcohol into the mix. Hit the ball into the net. Got to take a shot. You get slammed on, you got to take 2 shots. You get slammed on and you miss the ball completely. You got to take 3 shots. Somewhere along the line, the game got so competitive that Joey decided to cut his jeans into jean shorts because he said he wasn't getting enough lateral movement in the house. Here's the fucked up part about that. It was Joey's house. All Joey had to do is go upstairs and change into a pair of goddamn jean shorts. I wake up in the middle of the thing. My Jamaica's killing me. I call the front desk. A woman picked up the phone. She said, hello, front desk. May I help you? It's the first time that I heard English outside of my friends since I've been in Japan. You would have thought that I was Tom Hanks in Castaway Away. I lost it. Chicken, please, chicken. She was like, sir, calm down. Calm down. What room are you in? I don't know. She said, look at the phone. Your room number is in the phone. Okay, I'm in room. Line dash cross house. I don't know how to read. It looks like an abandoned building with no windows, made out of bamboo sticks. I don't know. So excited. I don't know. Please. How did you get it? Did you get the joke? You got it. Because the way they write their numbers, you got it. I just felt like you should have gave a bigger laugh. I don't think your laugh is what it should have been. True story, people. Exactly what I do. Get in the shower, get dressed, get in my car, start driving to the store. On the way to the store, I hit a speed bump. When I hit the speed bump, I hear a lot of noise in the trunk. Boom, boom, doom, boom. That's weird. I ain't put shit in the trunk. The fuck is all that noise in a goddamn trunk? I'm small, I get scared fast. Yeah. So I get out the car, pop the trunk. This is some true shit. I pop the trunk. When I pop the trunk, this bitch was stooped down in a trunk like this, looking at me. I see her in the goddamn trunk. I see her, see me, see her in the goddamn trunk. I just caught you in the trunk of my car. You gotta say something to justify what the fuck I'm looking at. What the fuck are you doing in the goddamn trunk? With a straight face, she looks at me, jumps out the trunk, rolls her eyes, and takes off as if I never saw her. Now, let me tell you why I had an attitude. It's because we live together. Like, I'm going to see you tonight. We have to address this at some point in time. I said, no, fuck that. We're going to talk about this right now. I get in the car. I drive home. Now, here's where it gets crazier. When I get home, she in the kitchen cooking, right? I walk in the house. She said, hey, babe, you hungry, bitch? What the? Oh, I want to talk about no goddamn food. I want to talk about why I popped the trunk and you popped out the goddamn trunk like a goddamn jack-in-a-box. The fuck were you doing in the goddamn trunk? With a straight face. She looked at me. She said I wasn't in no goddamn Middle East. What did that have to do with lesbians? Is that because they can get married now? Finally, they can adopt a kid, so technically one of them's a mom? Or are they both moms? I don't know how it fucking works. Oh God, am I in trouble now? I don't know. It's a new world. Oh, there we go. That's what I have, a live podcast. All the questions are answered. That would have bugged me for a whole week. What did that mean?
All right, last thing here.
Overrated. No, that's overrated. Today's hot moms. It's the same thing. I appreciate all this. I appreciate all the self-care, but would it kill some of these women to do some mom things once in a while when it's not convenient for the camera? Maybe it's because I was born in 81, but I remember moms putting their family first. Glad you're getting in some yoga, but could you maybe teach your kids a little something about anything in your spare time, for Christ's sake? There we go. If that attention is going towards themselves, that it ain't going towards their kids. Yeah, it's a weird fucking time. You know what? Actually, the last thing I'll say here is have you noticed, like, when you watch, like, YouTube videos of kids falling down? I don't know why I got on that thing, but I'm watching it. It used to be, like, accidental. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my kid was sitting there laughing and then fell off the chair, was okay, or whatever. And it becomes like a funny thing, like a kid falling down. But now I've noticed, like, when you watch them, because they know they're going to get big hits, there's plenty of time for the parent to get over there. The kid's walking towards a hot stove. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Touch it, touch it. What are you doing? That gets a little creepy. All right. Well, that was the live podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Go yourselves. We'll see you on the other one. Thank you to Andrew for setting up all of this stuff. And thank you to Dynasty Typewriter for the wonderful space. I'll be in back signing posters, taking pictures, kissing babies, whatever. Thank you. Good night, Dan. Anyway, she goes, he yells, you do not know how I feel. And she writes, I sense his anger and try to change the subject and ask questions about him. I'm about beers deep and just rambling. But at some point, I check out this guy more thoroughly and realize he only has one leg. Oh, no. That's why she left out that detail. Oh, my God. That was brilliantly written. Crutches are not just a 2-week inconvenience for him, and I absolutely do not know how he feels. I'm now picturing him back at his place and realizing how convenient it is when you have to blow buddy if they only have one leg. There's all this extra space. You don't have to, like, lean over, come on in. You know, it's like suicide doors getting into a back seat. There you go. There it is right there. He just moves the stump. Anyways, I'm so embarrassed and disgusted with myself. I tried to apologize and buy him a beer, but he refused, got up and left. On a more positive note, the one pickup line that did work for me also was back in college, and shortly after the crutches incident, I came up to a guy in a staircase of a Jello Wrestling party. A guy came up to me in the staircase of a Jello Wrestling party and asked me, hey, aren't you in my physics class? And I say, I don't know. It turns out we were in physics class together, but I had not noticed him before. So we started sitting together in class, and I realized he's a nice, friendly guy, pretty smart, in pretty good shape, likes to party. I was waiting for her to go, and he has his legs. He invited me out to a party the following weekend, which soon became one of my most embarrassing date experiences. Jesus fucking Christ. I show up with some of my lady friends, and at some point, one of my lady friends disappears with one of his guy friends. We eventually figured out that they were hooking up the back seat of a car out in the driveway. I decided to be a funny girl and smush my face up to the window to give him a little scare. All right. I don't know how I feel about this person. I start to like them, then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm back into this nuts. Except I had a few too many beers and I hit the glass a little too hard and my front teeth smashed all right. I absolutely love this person now. I love this person. I chipped off my front tooth. We all had a good laugh, looking like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. We had a good laugh as he helped me look for my tooth in the dirt. I was pretty mortified. Turns out he's into boozy girls who will risk a Pennsyltucky yuck mouth. What? Pennsyltucky yuck mouth. Is that half Pennsyltucky yuck mouth? Is that half Pennsylvania, half cocky? Is that a meth reference of a smile? Just for a laugh. I have since gotten my tooth, and we've been laying off the booze. Great. And my Jello Wrestling physics partner is now my husband. And we are coming to see you June 24th in Newark, New Jersey. Can't wait. All right. Well, you know what? I think that's a real positive way to end this podcast. I had a fucking great time. I hope you guys did too. Yes. One more time for the truth and Andrew Thiles and Andrew the Less and Mike Bernalino. And that's it. Thank you so much. Good night. Good afternoon, Sam. I saw this story down in Orange County, right down in Orange County, California. This guy gave helicopter tours for 30 years without incident. Hands the business off to his son, the American dream. I built it up for 30 years. There you go, son. Make the family and the family name proud. All right, Dad. I love you, right? 4 kids, 5 days in, he's supposed to give a tour to a couple. Only the dude shows up. The kid thought it was weird, but he's like, I need the money. I got to give him a tour, right? So he takes this guy up. 10 minutes into the tour, the dude jumped out. Yeah, 5 days in. 5 days in from the balloons and the cake. We love you, son. Keep the family tree going. The traditional life. 5 days later, this kid, he probably barely had the speech down, just sitting there flying the helicopter. All right, if you look out the left side of the aircraft, that's Orange County. There's over 27 miles of beaches. Put your seatbelt back on. 27 miles of beaches was established as a county in 1903. Sir, please don't open the door, sir. What are you doing? Sir, no, don't stop. No. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God, what the fuck? Air traffic control, I don't know who's on this frequency, but you really need some kind of helicopter. 5 days in, so I read further into the story. Turns out the guy who jumped out, he was 61 years old, terminally ill. He was in pain every day. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, and he had had enough at that point. That guy immediately became a hero in my world, right? You know what I love about him? Not only did he make the decision, he didn't go out like some pussy, right? Handful of pills, watching a romantic wrapped in an Afghan that Nana made. Fuck, that guy went out like a man. Take me up in a chopper. I'm looking at the land I love, and then I'm jumping out like a superhero. I loved it. Hey, this guy should have been wearing a fucking cape. I can't imagine how elated he must have been on that helicopter ride up after finally, just taking back control of his life. Like, in disease, I decide, ripping tubes out, gets a burger, shotguns, a beer, take me up in the chop. He probably had his foot on the dashboard, he's not even listening to this guy giving the tour, right? Over 27 miles of beaches. Put your seat shade back on, established as a county in 1903. Sir, please don't try to open the door. Incredible. But here's the thing. I left out one small thing. There is one small thing. The guy fucking lived. Yeah. They were out over the ocean, 500 feet up. You'd think that would be enough. So I'm thinking he must have gone in like Greg Louganis. Like, no splash. But witnesses said it looked like a dummy was falling out of the air. So that sounds like a hell of an impact. I think he accidentally did the most epic 500-foot belly flop in the history of jumping out of a helicopter, but that didn't tan what he was trying to do, where his heart was. I still love this guy. I just feel bad for him. Just on the way down, he's got to be thinking 3 more seconds of pain, 2 more seconds. Wow. Oh my God, this is worse. This is way worse. It has a happy ending, though. He later died at the hospital. That's right. So here's to him. God bless him. I hope I have the balls someday. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you? Please be seated. Good evening. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to this lovely theater here in downtown Montreal. It's unbelievable. Can't understand you. Female voice does not travel well. I don't know what it is up close or in a whisper. It can make your dick hard. Beyond 10 foot, it just sounds like a couple birds fly, fighting over a French fry or something, There you go. That's how we start. Somebody's coming out of the gate. I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah, this isn't some Democrat, Republican shit. This is just in general. Just running her yap. It's just like, shut up. You weren't elected. Your husband isn't running a lemonade stand. He's running the country. No, generally speaking, first ladies, they've been out of line for a good 25, 30 years. They think for some reason that their husband has the job that now they should be chiming in like they know some shit. Dude, if you had a leak at your house and you called the plumber and the plumber comes in and he starts fixing it, what would you do if 5 seconds later his wife, who isn't a plumber, comes walking in? Well, I think we should route it over here. It's like, shut up. Just because you're fucking the plumber doesn't mean you understand plumbing. Okay? No, this is all like my fears because they're trying to tell us down south here. They're starting to like gear up for Hillary Clinton to be running for president, saying like, I think that would be a good thing. Yeah. People clapping. What is that based on? Based on what? I don't get how she became a senator. That's shocking to you. She went from never holding political office to immediately being a senator. Why? Because she was fucking the president. Should Tom Brady's wife be the next quarterback of the Rams? Does he have some sort of magical powers? Like, you suck at sports. I couldn't throw it all, and then he fucked me, and I just picked up this ball. I was just lacing it in there. It was incredible, dude. It all started with Nancy Reagan. That's where it first went off the rails. She came out with her little bird body, just her big head. Just came walking out. Say no to drugs. People off your heroin. Say no to that. She just walked back. Hillary had her stupid healthcare plan. Obama's wife's running her yap on 60 Minutes. You know, I got to give it up to the Bushes. They had their women in line. They did. Barbara never said shit. She smiled every once in a while. She threw something in there. George W.'s wife. I don't even know her name. This dude was in office for 8 years. I don't even know her fucking name. What's it like? Beth or Paige or something like that? He had her on lockdown. Going out there tonight. I'm giving a speech. And when I say something and they laugh, you're going to nod, you're going to smile, and you're going to toad that head. Is this how it's going to be? Really? Do you think like me saying this is somehow going to affect? She's still going to win? Listen, let me ask you this question. Do you think that a woman being president is going to affect anything? Do you? Oh, do you? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? What the fuck is she going to do? Do you know what the president makes? The president makes 400 grand a year. That's it. He's supposed to keep bankers in line that get like $100 million bonuses. I'll tell you, if you really want, nothing's going to change, okay? Black, white, dick, or clam. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Nothing is going to change until somebody's got the balls to start a group, go over the wall of one of these gated communities, and you start slitting some throats. Not just random throats, the right throats. You got to climb up a tree, be up there with your scope, knowing that in 11 fucking minutes your life is going to end, right? And take out many of those people as you can.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just going to be a pair of tits saying the same shit to you. I'm staying in a hotel, everybody. I like staying in hotels. They make me feel comfortable. I feel safe in a hotel. You know, you got the lobby. There's always somebody down there. In case an axe murderer comes in, that's the first person that's going to get killed. You can hear the screaming when you're up in your room. Gives you a chance to plan. Barricade the door, you know, turn on the shower, hide in between the mattresses, right? Little misdirection back in the day. I used to stay in motels. I hated staying in motels. Could never feel safe. You were lying in a bed 2 feet from a door that just opened up out into a parking lot. Anybody in the world could just come walking up, kick the door open. Ah, you motherfucker. Just drag you out of the bed. And you're just lying in that bed. So not ready to have a fight to the death. Sitting there half naked like nodded.
Meanwhile, there's some guy on the other side of the door with a chainsaw.
Like you're lying there like it's kind of early to be trimming the hedges, but when that dude comes through that door, you lie to yourself as a man that if something like that happened, dude, I just jump up, grab a lamp, let's fucking do it. You know what the reality is? Most people, the best you could do is maybe make a weird noise. Just be like, oh, that would be it. That would be it. That dude just come in. The last thing you'd see is just ceiling. Carpet, ceiling, carpet, ceiling, carpet, ceiling, carpet, ceiling, carpet, ceiling, carpet. Looking upside down back at your own body, right? I will say this. What I enjoy about this theater is nobody has told me it's haunted. Anytime you go into a theater, they always give you the history. It was built 1948.
It was a tribute to Rocket Richard.
Everybody chipped in. Blah, 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 blah. And we have a ghost. His name is Michael. I immediately lose all respect for anybody over the age of 8 that's still believes in ghosts. It's like, really? You still believe in specters and goblins? What is the end game of being a ghost? I don't get it. You can go anywhere you want to go in the world. You're just going to stay in a basement for the rest of your life, just waiting for once every 6 months somebody comes down to check the boiler, and you get to be like, why would you go somewhere due to come? I'd fly right to Washington, D.C., fly right into the CIA building, just start sitting in on meetings like, these guys are out of their fucking minds. Fly to the Super Bowl, go right into the huddle. I always wanted what they talked about. Not going to spend the rest of my life in an attic trying to scare some accountant into solving my murder. In that while I was so fucking hot, I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. So at some point it just got so hot and she wasn't leaving and she was like a pro. So I finally just got up and I just sort of had my towel cover myself and go, I'm sorry. I think I left my key over. And she goes, oh, I did not see it. The blah, blah. And I go, all right. So then I went back and I sat down. That's what I did. That's right. I sat down. And then she got up and I was like, still, I go like, it's got to be underneath her or something. So I waited for her to leave. I toughed it out. And then I walk over there and I'm feeling around on the fucking seats and shit. And it's just not there. And they have the slats. And I'm like, it probably fell down in between it. Now I'm going to have to walk out with just my towel and robe on, go back to the front desk, pay the fee and all of this shit. So now I walk out of the sauna. I'm fucking almost passing out. And to my left in my peripheral, I see that woman again. naked at the top of the ladder to go into the ice bath. Helps. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I gotta get out of here, right? And as I'm walking away, I hear her yelling over to somebody, and I'm like, I know if he's not talking to me. And then she just goes, then she switches to English. And she goes, did you find your key? And I kind of half turned, but didn't look at her. And I go, no, I didn't. And then she goes, is this it? And I realized that's where I left it. When I scampered up the ladder to go there, I left it at the top. I go, oh, yeah, it is. And then she stays at the top of the ladder and just, kind of hands it. And I walk over and literally her vagina is above me. And I kind of reach up, like looking, but not looking. I just go, Duncan Shane. And it was so fucked up. I didn't even take a shower. I just walked out and I went to the locker room and I went in there and I was like pouring sweat and everyone was looking at me. Like when fighting, he showered off. He's all red like the tomato. Anyways. And then I put my shit back on and there you go. That's my German sauna story. But I do have to tell you this though. If you're completely naked in a sauna, it's even better. It is even better. It's fucking weird. But you only can do it in a place if everybody's naked. Then it isn't weird. It isn't weird. And if you're worried that you're going to get a stiffy because there's a naked woman in there, there's also other naked men in there. So it neutralizes it. Not to mention it's all to shit. Like, I don't think anybody has ever fucked in one of those hot naked, the not naked, the hot yoga class. What do they call that? The Bikram yoga. Like, you can barely survive somebody is the last thing on your mind when you're sitting in like an 80-degree heat. But anyways, that was my sauna story. It was hilarious. I was worried that my junk was going to look too small when I got out of the ice bath. I was worried that I was going to salute the Germans when I was in the sauna if this naked woman walked in, but it didn't. I just felt like a fucking creep. So anyways, and that's why you travel the world, everybody, to get stories like that. You said, come on down. I hired a drum kit and I'm with some musicians and before I do my show with the First Forum, we get to screw around in this amazing space. So I came down, you said, bring your guitar and we had a blast. You're a great drummer. It was really fun. Oh yeah. Thank you. That was great. That was really fun comedian. But we had Dean Del Rey and Michael Devin. I'm trying to remember the people. We had a mix of comedians. Yeah. Failed musician comedians. And then like real deal guys like Michael plays with everybody, played in like White Snake and all that stuff before all this crap happened. He could play everything. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So there's a clip. I wish if I could find it on one of my phones. We did Van Halen, Ain't Talking About Love. And there was some guy had like the Van Halen like tribute guitar and he, was crushing the solo you read down. Would you play Van Morrison? It was such a great time. I think I played Van Morrison. Yeah. We ended up playing for like it felt like 3 hours. And I had such a good time. And then when I stood up, I had no energy left. And I was like, oh my God, did I just blow it? You got to do the though. I had to do the show. Unfortunately, the fear of screwing that up becomes like adrenaline. Yes. And I was able to go out there and yeah, I forget what that sounds like, even having like a crowd. So, right. We'll get back to it. Hopefully we'll get back to it. Yeah. All right. Let me make sure I get this right. Right. You can see Bill in theaters across the country this summer and fall on Bill Burr. The tour, for full tour dates, visit billburr.com and The Mandalorian, of course. Available on Disney Plus. Massive conglomerate. No one here is getting that money. Bill Burr, that was great. Thank you. All right, you're about to do what is my dream tour? You're going to Europe to do stand-up in Europe, and you're also going in the winter. Are you one of those Americans that just automatically thinks they're smarter over there? Because you got to go, because everybody American knows, oh my God, the food and the people are so enlightened. You go over there, it's some idiot eating fish and chips, screaming about soccer or whatever. It's like, I know that guy. I've seen that guy, Yeah. Like, everybody's over there in like lab coats figuring stuff out. They're not. Everything's so much older and so much cultured. They still get on social media and trash each other. Are you going to any places? You've obviously toured a lot over there before. Are you going places you've never been? Yeah, this is like a thrash. I'm going through like Eastern Europe, like Estonia. I'm doing Prague, Bosnia. Poland is a big one I wanted to go to. And yeah, so you go in with an expectation. Do you think to yourself, oh, a Bosnian audience will like this part of my act? But you just go in and do exactly what you do? Like, I'm right here because you go over there. The first time I did London, like I was just in my head the whole time. I'd have like a joke coming up about like, and it involved a squirrel. And then in my head, I'd be like, do they have squirrels over here? Did I see a squirrel? Is this going to bomb? And I would be like freaking out. And then I swear to God, you pull back and then they pull back and then it just becomes like this staring contest. So I just act like I'm here. I use references, I use slang, and I just go until it bombs. And then I make fun of it that they didn't get it. And then I just go again. But I've gotten some of the funniest. I was in Stockholm, Sweden one time and I was on stage and there was some guy, saying, all right, what do I do after this? Where should I go? Blah, 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 blah. And I just hear this guy in the crowd yells out, he goes, come to my house. They'll have a party. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to skip that one. I don't think I'm going to meet you anywhere, buddy. But they had a great sense of humor. And I remember when I did Stockholm, Sweden, I came out and I said, hey, it's great to be here in Switzerland. And they all laughed thinking I was joking. And I just played it off. I was like, oh, I missed that. So anyways, do you feel a bigger rush? Is there something, when you think about all the small rooms you played here and, where you're from and when you go over to a whole nother country, do you have a rush of like, I can't believe I'm killing in a foreign country in a big crowd? Yeah, definitely. But I always have that thing, you have a job to do. These people paid for a sitter. They're coming out in that thing. And I'm always trying to get like better. But there's definitely, I'm starting to add some shows over there and it's just like, it's YouTube, it's Netflix. Like your stuff can just go international. And, I definitely feel blessed that I can go to these places, make a little bit of money, and yeah, meet all these kids. Can you enjoy yourself the day of like, if you, obviously you're going city to city, so you don't have a lot of time. If you have a show at night in Og, can you go out and enjoy a day in Prague, or are you in your head about the fact you got a show? Probably not. Because this is my first time there. The first time there is always just, you go there like, an animal sleeping on a futon and all that. Then you build a following. Then I can bring my wife. She shows up once, all the land's been cleared, all the hard work's done, I want to go. This seems like fun. I didn't bring her. She'd probably buy some stupid antique over there. And I got to figure out how to bring it halfway across the world. But I like it. Yeah, you break even on the whole try. Because he got an old piano. The word that's going to kill me earlier is going to be why. That's what my wife always does. Do you like this? Nah, I don't like it. It's a piece of, don't get it. And then she's always just like, why? But I like it. And then it's just like, all right, buy it. No, but I want you to like it too. And it's just like, there's just no winning. But you're a licensed helicopter pilot? Yes, I am. This is true. How long has this been the case? I get it. 2014 or 2015. I can't remember. What made you want to become a licensed helicopter pilot? Conspiracy theory and living in Los Angeles. What is the conspiracy theory that led you to it? Well, I'm not into like, people think of you into conspiracy theory. They just automatically think that you think there's lizard people and shapeshifters and, you have this aluminum hat on. No, I just sort of read up on the banking system and I'm like, this is kind of a giant Ponzi scheme. And, I was living in LA and I was just looking at it and it's like, you can't get out of this city even when it works. Like, what if ever hit the fan? How do I get out of here? And it just seemed like up and out was the only way to do it. So yeah, no. So then think, like, yeah, but then I always watched Magnum PI and always liked TC and he flew that Huey 500, which I thought was cool. And so then, and I'm also sort of a closet gearhead where I don't know a lot of stuff, but I watch videos of people repairing engines and I just really got into it. Next thing you know, I'm flying around in those things. I guess my question would be though, based on your escape plan, do you have your own helicopter? No, there's a lot of holes in it. Also, this is not enough for your family. I know, but I can only afford to. I just rent those things, man. It's just like, yeah, that's the thing. There's another thing too. Whenever you watch like a zombie movie and some guy comes running up to like a plane, helicopter, I should say, and just starts it up like he's getting in like a Corvette and just drives away. That's not how it works. You got to warm the whole thing up. You'd have to kill half the zombies by the time you went through your pre-flight just to get up and out of there. So I didn't know that. So I went ahead and I did it. And I will tell you, it's one of the big accomplishments in my life because I was terrible in school. But that was something that I wasn't worried about learning how to fly it. It was the ground school and all the rules you had to know. So, but I was so interested and it was so fascinating. I was actually able to do it. So, well, congratulations on that. Thank you. Congrats on the show. I have a great trip to Europe, man. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you. Great. We finally did this. Bill Burr, everybody. Bill, you even said that you're a lifelong Red Sox fan, that you were disappointed that you're a little disappointed that the Red Sox, you're not unhappy that they're losing now. No, I'm sorry. I mean, who says that? Burn off all the bandwagon. Okay. All those people with the pink Red Sox hats singing that stupid song in the 7th inning. Sweet Caroline. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Your girl's got her head on your shoulder like you're at a romantic comedy. It's what they got. They got like a mascot now. They got a mascot. I didn't know they had a mascot. They tried a mascot in the late 70s, and the guy got pelted with so many like cigarette lighters that he quit after like 3 games. And that's what I mean. Now I come back to Boston, everybody's like, they like holding, swaying, singing the song. It's not. The Patriots have like a lighthouse at their stadium now. It's just not the city I left. So you're bitter that they had that success. Were you happy that they won No, I like that they won. I'd like them to continue winning, but I don't think we have to sing campfire songs in like the 7th inning. Okay. I don't like mascots. I don't like those songs. And Steve Jobs, I think, was a little overrated. Nice take, me. Thanks. You love it. You love it. You love going against the grains. Fantastic. I like annoying people. Okay. On that subject, then, did you watch the conventions? Republican convention, Democratic convention? No. I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us, and we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't done those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They've been on both horses, and then it just kind of goes, it's not for you, right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? That guy's going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like, just freaking people out. And as unsettling as that is, at least you can canon it to you can trust it, that no corporations behind him. They're not getting any money on the side. Because I think both the Democrats, Republicans, they just say the same thing. They just say those applause break. I think it's time to get this country back to work. And some guy with like a Tennessee sign jumping up and down like he's part of it, right? We're all gonna get replaced by like robots. That's what I think. Like eventually, you think we're all going to be replaced by robots? Yeah. Like according to my YouTube and Wikipedia research, I think that's the event. What is Conan? I don't have any kids. And if you go too long, you get a little crazy. You become like that black dude and not Predator. Remember that guy? Like I see it over there in them trees. Become like that guy. So you become him because you didn't have children shaving your head. No, you got to have something. I got to have a kid. That's what I got to do. I should just have a kid and play catch with him. I don't tell him that Santa's coming and all that, right? No, I think it's too late. Whatever I am saying, what I'm feeling, you can at least give me that, right? That's good. You are saying what you're feeling. I want to make sure I mention this. On this Bill's new special, You People Are All the Same, which will be available online October 1st, BillBurr.com. That's right. And I'm hoping people are going to actually download it and pay for it. I am hoping it's a big risk now.
Yeah.
That could become like $140,000 business card. That's going to basically be like, and if you're going to steal it, can you just be honest and just say, I stole it? Can you just do that? Don't be like, we're not stealing it. We're sharing it, man. No, you're stealing it. All right. I hate to tell you this. Lars was right. He was right. It's stealing. Okay. Dad too. Lars from Metallica. Yeah. Okay. The other Lars, I don't know. There might be another Lars. I'm just trying a monster movie. Lars, turn the switch. Like a boss. I keep forgetting this show. I started to watch. I watched the first 3 episodes and I absolutely loved it. And I tweeted about was a cartoon from Japan. I guess they're called anime, which I did know that, but I didn't realize it was such a divisive thing to say that you liked a show that was anime. I feel like is anime like the emo of cartoons? Like I tweeted that I like this show called One Punch Man. All right. And responses that I got, dude, are you drunk?
Mhm.
Oh my God, you're into anime. And then other people just like, this is like the greatest day ever. I just like the show. And I've watched enough of the same type of shit. And I was scrolling through and I was like, what the fuck is this show? And I looked and it had 5 stars, 4.5, 5 stars, which is why I really hope Netflix doesn't go to thumbs up, thumbs down, like I said, because it's so fucking, stubbing your toe, thumbs down, Adolf Hitler, thumbs down. I mean, the thumbs down is this. There's a big gap between Hitler and, stubbing your fucking toe. Anyway, so I put this thing on, and what I loved about the show, aside from the fact that I really thought it was funny that you actually kind of got like a sense of what young people feel like in Japan, as far as their view of going into the corporate world was very similar to the empty feeling, unless you're a fucking sociopath over here. I find like a very like common thread to that, and to basically give you the overall thing, the superhero in it. He's not a soup. He doesn't want to be a superhero. When I'm out fighting monsters, I never feel as if my heart's really in it anymore. I mean, I just do the hero thing as a hobby, all right? And he fucking trained really hard because he wanted to be the strongest guy in the world. And in his training, he lost all his hair, which is hilarious. And he's really self-conscious about it. But he ended up developing like this punch. And no matter what monster he runs into, he doesn't give a shit whether they kill him. He's just completely devoid of any like passion or emotion. So like, what happens to you when you get shoved into a fucking cubicle and he's got this one punch and he just can punch so hard that no matter how badass the monster is, he gives the M1. Somebody said they should have called the show the right there, Fred. And he gives him the bam in the face, as Eddie Murphy says, in the face. Yes, yes, in his face. In his face, yes, in the face. And their head explodes, and the monsters that he fights, you also get more of an insight into where people's heads are at in Japan. And it was like, one of the monsters he fought with some giant virus sent here by the earth to get rid of all the humans because of what we've done to the planet. So there was an environmental thing then. My favorite one was this guy who was Crab Man. Dave. Yeah, he was half like up top. He was all crab, and then the bottom, he was half a guy and he was in. But the bottom half, he's in his bare feet and tidy whities. Bet you're a new businessman already hating the daily grind. I ate too much crab and turned into this crabland tea. You should be crapping in your pants right now. Why aren't you running? And the guy's like, oh, I ate so much crab meat that I became a fucking crab. And to me, he represented the upper 1% corporate guys. You get, on some power lunch, just eating all the sushi and just take, nothing spiritual about him. So he gave him the old right there, Fred. And then he fought this fucking lady. And she had command of all the mosquitoes. And she'd set the mosquitoes on everybody, suck all the blood out of you and all your energy, and then it would make her stronger. And to me, it's like, oh, this is a gold-gugging, blood-sucking whore, right? Come on. That wasn't nearly enough blood to satisfy my needs. And I go get some more from me. And then once she got to do it to all the animals and everybody there, she didn't need the mosquitoes anymore. She told all the mosquitoes to go fuck themselves. And I'm like, Slash, this is also somebody who becomes successful and forgets where they come from. And they look at everybody where they used to be as like a bunch of fucking peons, a bunch of little insignificant little mosquitoes. I no longer need my tiny little helpers. I mean, just look at how strong I've become, right? It's a lot of levels to it. You can just get fucking high and watch this bad-headed dude fucking punch half a crab in the head and watch it explode. I enjoyed it. Keep it up for me. The money comes in. The parade comes to town. Going down Broadway is a one-way street, whichever way I go. I just heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, everybody doesn't get to do this. It seems as if job interviews, right as I get out of the car, you're higher, go home. We'll see you tomorrow. This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you. How are you? Oh, I love that. You did the audience a plaid applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on, keep it going. For him, it was really, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid. God, you don't get it, man. You don't get it. Yeah, but I was like, fuck you. I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys that came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. Gonna take a 4-wheeler. Good to have you on again. Thanks for being here. It's nice to be here. You know what? I actually have the same dream about somebody coming into my house. This happens a lot, actually, where I'll be just falling asleep and I'll think I'll run through an entire scenario of a home invasion and I don't have any kind of weapon in my house. So you want to go with the 22 caliber, right? Perfect gun to shoot in the house. The low caliber gun. you can't really kill anybody from a distance, you know? So if they take a hostage, you can just start shooting at them and yo, perfect. Just let it go. Just good to know.
Yeah.
And now when I'm on the road, I talk about getting a 120 everybody makes fun of me and like, it's that guy thing like, oh, what are you going to shoot a squirrel with your little, little gun? But if you're in a house, that's what you want. Little 22, I'm basically teaching you guys how to kill somebody, I think. So it's a 22, you think is superior to the part of a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
You don't want to have like a 44 Magnum. It's like you're going to shoot through the guy through the wall, blow your dog's brains out, like drop the engine out of your car way too much. Like a little 22. You can still hear if you miss, right? No, I shot a 38 one time with no hearing, with no hearing protection.
Yeah.
I was doing landscaping for this guy, and all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, that follow sound that needed killing.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got this 5-shot 38 I never shot. It was the 80s. So you're like, yeah, why not? You can't explain anything by just, oh, it was the 80s. Why did you do that? It was the 80s. We went down the street that somebody burned a car for insurance. So we were shooting at that. And after the first shot, I couldn't hear anything. And I never forgot that. So if you're in the house and you miss, now you can't hear. You're blinded by the muzzle flash. This guy's coming around your bed with a sickle and you're shooting the wrong way. Sickle, 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 sickle. Oh, he's got sickle, sickle, sickle. Is he harvesting wheat? What's he doing? What's he doing in your house? He's a sickle. I honestly, as you get older, you think about safety, and I totally relate to that. Yeah. When you're home alone, it's just that feeling.
Yeah.
It's just, you're the only one there. You're what's for dinner. If somebody comes in, it's on you.
Yeah.
That's why I never was comfortable in a motel. What? Because you're just laying in this bed like 2 feet from a door that just opens up into the parking lot. Any guy can come in and you're just not ready to have a fight to the death. You're just laying there. You turn on the chest, this guy comes in. So to be honest, I'm never ready to have a fight to the death. It's like in a motel. You think in a motel, it's like, you're particularly vulnerable in the motel. You should, just drive by a motel and just look at it. You're just looking at those doors. Like there's just people and they're just laying on beds, like half naked, just laying there, and the door's like that thick. It's barely, you could put your foot right through it. He's going to be like that. That's it. Last thing you're going to see is just, you're going to be looking back at your own body like you're crazy. No, I do think about that. The kids, AC/DC, I raise them right. Great, I raise them right. And you know what's my favorite thing ever is my son. Not only does he love AC/DC, he dresses up like him. I got him a guitar and he like watches the videos. He can do like his Chuck Berry thing. And one of my favorite moments, I was laying in bed with my wife and my son woke up early when he was 3 and he started singing Sin City. First song, second side, Power Range. He's 3 years old. He was down. This little voice, dun, 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 dun. And I look at my wife, doesn't know the song. I'm like, he's singing Sin City. I love this kid. You also have a fantastic Hulu special, came out recently, Drop Dead Years. Can you explain the title to us? Oh, it was just something, being 56, these are like the years where it's a weird age. As a man, you're too young to die of natural causes, but you're right in the sweet spot of dropping dead, right? So dropping dead is like this uniquely male phenomenon. Like guys drop dead all the time. Women, go to your Pilates class and see women clutching their chests or whatever for some reason. It's weird because there's just as many out of shape women, but they don't seem to have heart attacks. I don't know what it is. They cry out their emotions.
Mm.
Yeah, but we have a steak and some French fries for a couple of decades, and next thing you know, we're falling out of a golf cart, and that's it. There's no defibrillator to bring you back. They should have a defibrillator at the turn of every golf course. Instead, they just give you more stuff to have a heart attack, which is what's amazing about golf. So many people take up golf because their doctor says you have to start walking. You're a ticking time bomb. And then what do? They get a golf cart and they're smoking cigars and just, we're idiots. Corned beef sandwich? This is not enough.
Meh.
Trying to get out of the way of your man boobs while you're swinging there. Something I wanted to ask you about. So fellow Red Sox fans, New York Yankees broke out these new torpedo bats. Oh, aren't those cool? Yeah. What do you think? What is your take? Fair play. I love it.
They should do stuff like that.
They should turn it into golf. If you just if you suck at golf, you don't have to get better at it. Then if you're like a podiatrist and you're slicing, they just design a golf club to make it go straight. The Yankees should go up with those big red plastic bats that you teach a 3-year-old with. I don't know. It just seems as a Patriots fan, they're weighing our footballs and these guys are going, hey, you know that part of the bat you're not supposed to hit it with? Let's make it the sweet spot also. So I don't know. Listen, they're just a $25 million team that could, you know, they're trying. I will say it's funny to watch them not even remotely spend as much money as the Dodgers, and watching them completely outspend them is really a funny thing. To just, you know, as a fly in the wall, watching these two cities battling each other. You know, New York, everything's big. We spend the most money, and then LA's like, no, you don't. We're spending more than you are.
Yeah.
I love your intense accent work that you've developed about. I know California, New York, while wearing a pink sweater, what's his face? I always do something to give the trolls something to talk about. So there's going to be a bunch of, he's wearing pink now on this liberal show. What is this? Some woke? You know what's funny is white liberals are the ones that gave the definition of woke to whites on the right. So they don't, no white people really understand, it seems, what that word really meant when they took it from black people. So people on the right just think it means an insufferable, self-involved liberal douche. And they're not wrong if they're talking about a white person, right? Run around crying about their pronouns is like the sun is like lighting the planet on fire. Faith, look how scared you are about pronouns. It's unbelievable. They're like, when you talk about pronouns, well, if the rest of the world doesn't want to take our food because they see what we look like, they don't want our beautiful chicken, they don't want our beautiful beef. And yeah, why is that? Why would you? It is just always the best way. Go to Europe, and if you can, and eat a tomato and see what it really is supposed to taste like. But this is a tomato. Jesus, Chris. Like somebody fucking stabbed you in the roof of your mouth. It would affect how you talked in school. Like for the first 3 periods, I would bleed one day when I bit them out in the fucking sun in July on a fucking roof. And I remember the first job I had looking over the fence. These fucking good-looking people, like Instagram-looking people, before Instagram, they were just lounging at a pool, just looking up at us. And I was just thinking, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Living. He was living. No, that was working. I hated that job so much. Do you know I just left? I didn't even go back and pick up a paycheck. I just wasn't meant to do it. Do you know there was this fucking guy who worked there? He had these jeans on, right? And I had a giant hole here. And he would never wear underwear. Oh, come on. It was so weird. I remember one time I was sitting there picking up these fucking tiles, and this dude stepped over some shit and the hole moved. Like, oh wow. Flash is fucking junk. Those are my 2 memories from that. That dude's junk. And those people sitting by the pool. Maybe that's why I didn't go back. That's a great reason not to. No, I wasn't good at confrontation. Then I thought he was going to get mad that I didn't want to do a job where I was going to get sunburned and look at some guy's dick. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Oh, that's a good one. You know what it would be? When I'm second in line to make a left and the person doesn't pull up to get out in the intersection and make sure I make it, my superpower would be that I could mentally move them out into the intersection, and if they gave me the finger, I would slowly slide them into oncoming traffic. I wouldn't make them hit because that's an innocent person over there. It's not like a superpower. You a villain, man. I would scan them. I would scan them. You're the first villain I had on my show. Everybody else, superpowers, like Marvel characters. Your shit is like a villain. They're lying to you. Everybody's pretending that they care. They don't. If you really listen to people, what they care about is what affects them. True. Nobody gives a shit about the 8-year-old who made this jacket. Do I? Do I write him and say thank you for sewing this together?
No.
I'm out there trying to get Grecian formula to make some shit for redheads. I always wake up and do shit. If I could work with anybody, dead or alive, you know what? Dead or alive, I would do a set in front of Richard Pryor, and all I would want him to say was, hey, funny stuff. That's it. I wouldn't want to bother the guy. And I would just want him to acknowledge that he watched, and on some level, he thought it was humorous. This one time on tour, okay, Eliza, that's a tough one. This one time on tour, I was with Charlie Murphy. We'll go back to that. And this kid at the Tempe Improv was also into martial arts and thought that his style was superior to Charlie's. And Charlie said that it wasn't. And they had a little kung fu match in the fucking, right? You know, where they had the black and white tiles. And I remember Charlie was twisting up so bad, he wasn't even looking at the guy. He was just looking over at me, smiling the whole time he was doing it. And I just remember somehow he had turned the kid around where he was behind him and his arms were all in his face. And Charlie was just laughing, and Charlie had this laugh. So the kid was humiliated. I remember I wanted to laugh, but I was just like, oh, I don't know karate either. So even though that kid's losing, Charlie leaves. he'll kick my ass. So yeah, if I wasn't a boss, if I wasn't a boss, oh my God, I'd be a failure. Because I wouldn't have gone after what I wanted, and I would be working for somebody else, and I'd be a drunk. I would be big, round, and orange, just sitting. I wouldn't be sitting here. My favorite position is doggy style. You're so nasty. No, I just can't deal with the intimacy, I don't know who I am as a person yet. And when somebody looks at me during that time, I feel like I'm exposing too much. I was talking about your position on the basketball court. I don't play basketball.